So I just got back from somewhere very dark and disparaging. And I don't mean Target. I'm talking about Dollar General. Yes, I went there, and yes, they exist in every single corner of the entire country. But when I was there, I thought, I could probably find at least 10 things that only cost $1, which would be good for bartering in an SHTF scenario. And of course, I was easily able to do so. So I want to share those 10 items with you. I'll let you know that they each only cost $1 to give you some ideas about how affordable some of this stuff really is. And I want your suggestions in the comments for other things that you would add to this list that only cost $1, because that might help a lot of other people out, especially those who are on a tight budget right now. And I do want to mention that Midway USA is the biggest supporter of the channel. Thanks to them, I can go out to places like Dollar General and still feel well protected while being in this dark and disparaging place. So big thanks to Midway USA. Let's get started on the 10 $1 items that I found there for bartering and SHTF. All right, first on the list is a $1 patriotic solar stake, which is just a light that recharges from a solar cell that you stick in the ground. Yes, it's that simple, but for $1, it's kind of hard to beat a light source that has unlimited power. And in all honesty, I have a few of these as well as some other similar style solar lights that just keep working even throughout harsh North Dakota winters. So for $1, for someone to be able to have light that they could strategically place in their yard for security purposes or charge during the day and bring inside at night, it definitely can't be beat at that price. So this is the first item for that reason. Let's move on. Next is an emergency poncho. And yeah, it's very basic, and of course, everyone should have a poncho, but in an SHTF scenario, you'd be surprised how many people are completely unprepared. And being able to get out of the elements and stay dry during a storm or whatever else might be going on could be imperative. So for $1, it's kind of hard to beat emergency ponchos that you can just stock up on. And imagine being able to trade these away for something way more imperative like food or medicine or who knows what else. But if somebody's soaking wet and they're out in the weather, this is going to make a huge difference for them. So for $1, I say it's good to go in the sense of the barter realm. Let's move on. All right, I know what you're thinking. There's no way a 5-pack of disposable razors was $1. But you know what? It was $1. And what's awesome about this is that you could split this up into 5 individual razors to trade, or you could trade it as a whole pack depending on value, right? And of course, razors are going to be huge in SHTF because a lot of people don't stock up on this stuff. They don't keep extras on hand, and especially the expensive type of razors are very expensive. So having these will be very valuable, especially if the gas mask part of the equation comes into play. Because let's be honest, not everybody's clean shaven right now, but if a nuclear bomb goes off and everybody's worried about fallout, suddenly a lot of people are going to be worried about having a beard. So having these is good. Women need them, men need them, and of course, people don't stock up on them now. So for $1, I mean, kind of hard to beat, especially because you can break it up into less valuable portions. So let's move on. You ever been away from home and had a hangnail and didn't have a way to deal with it? Well, so has a lot of other people. And the problem with that is that that'll be SHTF times a million. So having toenail clippers or fingernail clippers or any type of nail clipper on hand will be huge because people will want them and want to be able to use them. And of course, yes, these are only $1. And honestly, it's going to be something people don't think about until they don't have it after a long period of time, and they're going to wish they did. So for $1, you could easily trade these away for more important resources, especially if you don't need them yourself, and people are going to wish they would have had them, so it gives you more value than that initial $1 would have been, at least in my opinion, for SHTF purposes, right? So that's something else that I think would be a great barter item. So let's move on. Now, to be fair, this was in an aisle that was marked $1 deal. So I don't know if this is always $1, but it was $1 when I bought it. And honestly, being able to sleep in an SHTF scenario could be really important. And not everybody's going to be able to because of anxiety and stress and everything else that's going on. So having a sleep aid on hand could be beneficial, even just for your own preps. But to be able to get this for $1 and be able to trade it away for those who have been lacking sleep or unable to sleep or whatever else it might be, could be huge in the sense of value for a barter situation in SHTF. And of course, if it's still sealed and in the box and everything, that's going to give them a lot more comfort when it comes to taking medicine they received in a trade and everything else. So to me, for $1, I mean, kind of hard to beat something that could really help out in an SHTF scenario. So let's move on. So can you really beat that fresh, clean feeling after you brush your teeth if you skipped for a day or two? Which I don't know why you'd be doing that. I don't know your life, but imagine doing it for a month and not brushing your teeth. Well, having this on hand for a trade for only $1 would be huge in that regard, especially in the sense of value to somebody who really, really needs that comfort in their life. And we do need to maintain dental hygiene throughout SHTF because we know that dental issues can lead to much larger issues. And of course, this kit, which comes with a toothbrush and toothpaste, was $1. So honestly, I don't think you can beat this when it comes to being able to trade it off or use it yourself, of course. But imagine stocking up on 5, 10, 20 of these and just having them available for that purpose. It's not going to cost a whole lot, but it brings a lot of value to the equation. So let's move on. So you all have heard of 5-Hour Energy, right? Well, this isn't it. This is the $1 version of it from Dollar General, but it's still the same concept. And to be able to barter away liquid energy in this form could be huge in the sense of value, because this helps people get through those difficult times we all expect to experience in SHTF, such as guard duty late at night, or possibly getting through a long trek. Or who knows, maybe you haven't eaten in a while and you need a pick-me-up in order to get through that last mile. Whatever it is, this stuff will have a lot of value. People will be seeking it out, especially nowadays with our soda and energy drink addicted population. This will be like liquid gold. So for $1 to have a few of these stashed away, and of course, you know, they do have an expiration date, but some of that stuff may or may not matter as much in an SHTF environment. So keep that in mind. But I would say having some of these on hand, not a bad way to go, especially for $1. So what else do we have? Now, I was really strict about only spending $1 on each one of these items. And of course, they had other scissors there that were a little bit more capable, but also more than $1. But these ones for kids were only $1. And of course, they'll still do the basic function of scissors when it comes to cutting through material or cutting string or fishing line or things of that nature. And a lot of people will not have scissors, very similarly to not having nail clippers. And scissors are one of the best tools for doing what they do. So people will want scissors, and for $1 to have some of these stashed away, not the worst idea. And of course, they can still get the job done for basic tasks. Now, for your own personal stash, you probably want to get some legitimate scissors that have a little bit more oomph behind them, right? But in all honesty, for $1 to be able to trade these off or use them if you had to, not the worst thing on the planet. So a pair of scissors for $1, I say good to go. What else do we got? All right, if any of you know me very well at all, you know I love coffee and I must have it no matter what the scenario. So that's why this is a huge value. $1 gets you 7 packets of Folgers instant coffee. Can you really beat that? In an SHTF environment, especially when barter comes to mind, being able to trade people coffee for whatever else they might have, they're gonna lose their mind, especially if they're me. And if you love coffee, hit that subscribe button just because you're in the right place, I promise. Now, here's the thing. You get 7 of these in here for $1. So you could technically split them up and trade 7 different things for them or whatever you want to do. But what I like about it is that you're giving people coffee or you have coffee for yourself. And it's also instant coffee, which basically lasts forever. So this is great stuff for $1. I mean, I thought it was awesome to be able to get this for $1, and I'm just going to have it in my packs and my kits and stuff because I like to have coffee on hand. That's just me. But there is one more thing that we have to touch on here before we close things out. All right, so this is the last thing on the list, and I know some of you might be like, oh, come on, man, French vanilla coffee creamer, do you really need that? No, I don't need it. Sometimes I want it, though. And you know what? It gives you 12 of these things for $1. And guess what? That means I can have all 7 of my coffees with creamer in them and still have 5 of these left to trade afterward. And that's why I thought this was actually a pretty good barter item, because not only can you, I don't know, sweeten the deal with the coffee now in the sense of trading one of these and one of the coffees together, but you have extras of these if you want to just get rid of them instead of the coffees. And they do have a tiny bit of nutritional value, which I'm not going to, say is very good, but it gives you something to work with. And for $1 to get 12 of these to make that coffee even that much better, awesome. And not to mention, not everybody's going to be using instant coffee. They might have coffee from their stores or from other places that they just need some creamer for because they want to enjoy the comforts of life in post-SHTF environments. So that's my list of 10 items. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Add anything else you're aware of at Dollar General that's only $1 that you would think would be good for bartering in an SHTF scenario, because stuff like this is really hard to beat. I mean, we're talking about getting people energy, getting people comforts, the ability to shave, the ability to wear a gas mask if you need it, possibly have the coffee that you ever so desire. Not to mention, make art projects for your kids, or, just cut basic stuff too. This can cut medical tape, you'd be good to go. But there's a lot of things here that I think would be very valuable in an SHTF environment, and they all only cost $1, which I don't know if that's something you can really beat. But I want to know your advice, all your suggestions. Thanks so much for watching the video. Anything else you need from me at all, go to magicprepper.com. And besides that, that's going to be it for Magic Prepper.